think we might as well turn around. There's a whole bunch of snow down here. Say again? I think we should probably turn around. There's a bunch of snow down here. We got winches. Well, I think my ring and pinion's breaking in the front face.
Alright, so I had some technical difficulties and didn't get an intro to this video, so we're just gonna jump straight into this trip. But we are on our way to the trailhead, which is about 19 miles north of Palmer. It was a beautiful day to just get out and enjoy the Alaskan wilderness, and I'm glad I had the day off. Once we got to the trailhead, we pulled over and aired down our tires, or at least everyone else did. Randy, who is the driver of the black Jeep Wrangler, invited me on this run and noticed I wasn't airing down and asked why. So I told him I'd love to, but I didn't have a way to air back up. Long story short, he gave me a hand and encouraged me to air down. I've never driven air down before, so I didn't realize the full benefits, but I'm sure glad I did.
Radio check? Copy. I need to hear that loud and clear. Hear that.
Now the trail to Ruby Lake isn't difficult at all. There are a couple spots that you have to be aware of, but as long as you're running 33-inch tires and lockers, you will have no issues. There is a spot called the Rock Garden, littered with small to medium-sized boulders that you do have to navigate through, and that's probably the hardest part of this trail. There is a small creek crossing and a couple steep hills. We all made it without any issues.
Everybody catch up here. Oh, we're all here, man. Alright, don't look dry.
Ruby Lake sits at about 1,500 feet of elevation, nestled between a mountain on one side and a large hill on the other. The trail is about 4.5 miles long of easy terrain. This would be a great spot for camping during the summer with a large clearing that could fit large groups. Once we got to the overlook of the lake, a fire was started and food was on the grill. We sat and shared stories and got to know each other a little better. I've only been out with a couple of these guys a handful of times, so I'm new to the group. Once everyone had their fill, it was decided that the trail was too easy and we would push further in to find some more difficult terrain.
I think we might as well turn around. There's a whole bunch of snow down here. Say again? I think we should probably turn around. There's a bunch of snow down here. We got winches. Well, I think my ring and pinion's breaking in the front face.
Not long after we left the overlook of Ruby Lake, the day got pretty interesting. We ran into some heavy snow and Scott's front ring and pinion were acting up. I still haven't heard exactly what happened, but before we got ourselves into more trouble, we decided to turn around. We were able to get everyone back up the steep 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 guess.
Then I can catch more of this though.
Almost back to the trailhead, the trail Y's, and Randy asked if anybody wanted to take Permanente Trail back. It's a roundabout way to get back to the highway, but I'm always up for exploring new ground, and so were a couple other guys. Everyone else headed out, so we wished Scott luck and went on our way. Permanente Trail is a heavily wooded trail which tested my ability to snake my 136-inch wheelbase through. It follows the Kings River for quite some time until you get to the crossing. It's another easy trail if there isn't a whole lot of snow. However, there were a ton of areas that still had a bunch of deep snow. This is where being aired down really was an advantage. Aside from having a more comfortable ride on the rocky trail, having a wider footprint helped me float over the wet, sticky snow rather than trenching through it and getting stuck. This is the Kings River crossing, and if I'm being honest, I was a little nervous crossing it. The water was moving fast, and I've never done a river crossing in my Jeep before, so I didn't know what to expect. But after watching the other guys cross it, my confidence was high. The only thing that made me nervous now was the ice shelf on the other side. But I guess that's why we have wenches, right? I just got a ton of mud in the truck because I was dumb and left the window open. Once on the other side of the Kings River, there's another 3 miles of muddy trail before you come to a dirt road that takes you back to the highway. Before we hit the road, we aired up and talked about the day and future trips. I thanked Randy for helping me out and opening my eyes to the need of airing down. I have an air compressor in my garage and I just haven't gotten around to installing it yet. Alright, that's all I have for this trip. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, and until next time, explore beyond the horizon.